Yo, man, my Sharpie was dying when I did this, so it's like a little lighter than I expected it to be, but hey, whatever. Hello, everyone, my name is Tom, and today we're gonna talk about Kids Next Door. Y'all know Kids Next Door. I hope. I would hope you do. You got Nigel Uno, who is number one, Hoagie Gilligan, who is number two. Yeah, dog, honestly, I don't know all the full names off the top of my head. It's been so long. It's fucking. I know all the first names. You got Nigel, number one. You got Hoagie, number two. You got Kooky, number three. You got. Fuck, what was number four's name? Shit. Fuck was his name? I know his last name was Beetle. Wallaby Beatles. Wallaby, because he's Australian. And you got Abigail Lincoln, who's number 5. Probably one of Cree Summer's most well-known roles. Y'all know Cree Summer. She's like a crazy, just like a crazy good voice actor. And this was like a defining role for her, because Kids Next Door, like, how could you not like Kids Next Door? If you were a kid, you liked Kids Next Door, because it was for you. It was for kids. It was a show for kids about kids. It took everything that was great about being a kid and gave it a sense of power and independence, and you were like, fuck yeah. Except you weren't like, fuck yeah, because you were a kid and you were afraid of your parents hearing you swear, so you were like, heck yeah. Mr. Warburton built an entire world where kids ruled, and being a kid, that was a shit. But what's a little weird is like kind of the us versus them vibe that you got from the whole relationship between kids and adults, but I'll go into that later. There's a reason that The Kids Next Door has stayed with us as a classic Cartoon Network show. It had action, it had adventure, and you could connect with it. Even if some of the concepts were stupid and over the top, you could kind of relate to it. You could relate to it because like you didn't want to do your homework, you didn't want to eat your vegetables, you wanted to eat junk food all day. That was what life was like back then. That was our youth. That was our childhood. But the thing about The Kids Next Door is it's a world where kids can do just about anything. Anything is possible, and the consequences are minimal. I mean, kids are running around breaking shit and beating each other up. It was just, no one mentioned it. It was every day. It was just, I'm not gonna say that. And Sector V had their own treehouse where these 5 kids could just live away from their parents, away from home. And it's like, dog, that's crazy, man. That's like living the dream. Like, that on its own is lit. But then you take the fact that they had another treehouse on the moon. Like, dog. Kids were on the moon. How wild and inspiring is that? It's like, yo, kids, you can go to the moon, even if you are a kid. Kids Next Door gave you a feeling as a kid that no other show could. It was empowering. It made you feel like you didn't have to wait to grow up to do great things. But the saddest thing about it is all of us who experienced that, we've all grown up. Everyone who would come home from school and turn on the TV to participate in the camaraderie that was The Kids Next Door, we're all grown-ups now. We're all adults. Or at the very least, we're like 16. And now we all have to look back on this show with a unique perspective, because it's not just nostalgia. It's knowing you aren't that kid anymore who used to be able to identify with these characters on such a deep level. It was about being young and free to imagine, back when there was no stress about money or worrying about your car breaking down on the side of the road. The Kids Next Door gave us an escape, where we were kids and the world was ours, despite the fact that in our reality, adults still ruled the world. But maybe our friend in power, Mr. Warburton, was onto something, because as we get older, we start to realize that all these adults who we think are all-knowing, perfect beings aren't that. Most adults really are just pretending to know what they're doing and hoping nobody notices. And to kids, they're successful, because we really didn't realize that. I'm not saying that the average kid and the average adults are on the same level, but Codename Kids Next Door makes it easier to realize that that jump from childhood to adulthood isn't as drastic as it looks. And that gap between kids and adults is kind of closed when you start adding responsibility and independence to it, like you see in The Kids Next Door. The Kids Next Door is an all-out organization with all kinds of management and moving parts. These kids really organized to be on par with adults by taking on all the responsibilities that we take on as we become adults. Minus the money. When it comes to Kids Next Door, I don't know how much money there is or isn't involved, and if there is, how the fuck they're getting it. When you take away the lore of The Kids Next Door, where the kids ruled the world and then they created adults and then all that other stuff, and adultism being a virus, what you have is a universe where kids and adults are almost equal thanks to The Kids Next Door. And it's a universe that all of us grew up in and got to be a part of. And now and now when we look back on The Kids Next Door, all we really want is the galactic Kids Next Door. Get on that Cartoon Network. Thank you for watching Let's Talk with Tom on the Roundtable, but Tom isn't just on the Roundtable. I have my own self-titled personal channel, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a Snapchat, I have all that good stuff. In fact, I even have a Tumblr. So, if you're interested in any of that, check that out, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!